Is that hot?
You are listening to the Next Gen Jets show. Now, here are your hosts Connor Long, Chris Grasso, Jack Cotter, and Josh Woolever.
Yes, you are, in fact, listening to the Next Gen Jets show. Streaming live right here on YouTube and Twitter. What is going on, everyone? Hello and welcome into the show. I'm your host, Connor Long, right here with you guys on this beautiful Saturday afternoon, September 13th, 2025. Make sure everyone who's watching us, however and wherever you are consuming this show, make sure you like that, you smash that like button, and make sure you hit subscribe, because that is the free way to support us and what we are doing. That is the free way to help us grow this platform, Talking Jets, every single day here on this channel, and obviously once a week, every Saturday on the Next Gen Jets show. Typically, we come to you guys at 7 p.m., excuse me. Was it 7 or 8 p.m., the new time slot? I'm still getting...
I think it was 8 last week.
Yeah, 8 p.m. I'm still getting adapted to the new time slot with the season in full swing, but I have some plans tonight, so unfortunately we are starting the show a little earlier than expected. 3 p.m. start time for us right here on this Saturday afternoon. Nevertheless, thank you all for joining us. We want to hear from you guys. We want to engage with you guys. We want to hear what you have to say about this football team. So throw all of your questions, throw all of your comments, throw all your thoughts in the live chat if you are here with us live, for all of us to dissect, for all of us to answer and tether through. So throw all of those in the chat. If you guys want to get up here on the screen with us, you guys could call into the show by using the pinned comment in the description down below. So questions, comments, thoughts, throw those in the chat. Call into the show with the link that is pinned in the description. Be sure to smash the like button and hit subscribe, because again, that is the free way to support us. Don't forget about the paid way. You see it on the ticker down below. That also helps us significantly as well. You can get into our membership raffle. Every $2 super chat or gift and membership gives you an opportunity to win a Sauce Gardner signed jersey, a Garrett Wilson signed helmet, a Wayne Corbett signed jersey, a Nick Mangold signed jersey, a CJ Mosley signed jersey, a Bart Scott signed photo, a Don Maynard signed photo, and then, of course, the front page of the New York Daily News following the Jets' 1969 Super Bowl victory. That, of course, coming in a frame again, folks. Every $2 Super Chat or gifted membership gives you an entry. That raffle happening just 2 days away, September 15th, one day after we know the result of the Jets Week 2 matchup. Jets versus Bills. I'm Connor Long. Those are my co-hosts, Chris Grasso, Josh Woolever, Jack Cotter, right here with you guys on Next Gen Jets. Jack, tough loss last week. A lot of silver linings, however. And this week, tomorrow, against the Buffalo Bills, going to be a huge test for the Jets. Was the offensive performance just a flash? Is it here to stay? We're going to get into all of that, but interesting first week.
I think the offense did amazing last week, especially with the caliber of that Pittsburgh Steelers defense. I really thought the offense overachieved my expectations last week, especially with the offensive line and Justin Fields. Justin Fields specifically, with his passing, I thought he was really good at getting that ball out of his hands to his receivers last week. Especially, that touchdown to Garrett Wilson was something I was not expecting. If anything, that was the last thing I was expecting. A week 1 Justin Fields bomb on a go route to Garrett Wilson for a touchdown. I mean, I thought they were going to ease into that throughout the season. I didn't think it was going to be on I believe it was the first drive actually, or one of the first drives for the Jets offense there. But overall, I think the offense overachieved last week, and I'm really excited to see what they can do this week against Buffalo.
I thought when you talk about easing Justin Fields into the passing attack and trusting him to push the ball downfield, if you were going to do that against the team, I think it would be wise to do that against the Pittsburgh Steelers, a team that Garrett Wilson has had a lot of success against their number 1 cornerback in Jalen Ramsey. He's been notorious for that throughout his whole career, and Darius Slay really didn't do much. I was pleased with the passing performance overall from Fields and the prowess that he showed pushing the ball downfield and taking calculated risks downfield. Obviously, the Garrett Wilson touchdown is the one that catches our eye when you talk about calculated risks and pushing the ball downfield. Chris, we're going to see tomorrow, was that just a flash, or is this Justin Fields' success sustainable and here to stay? Muted, brother. Muted.
Oh, you got me?
I got you loud and clear.
All right. So the most impressive thing about the Justin Fields, how he played in my eyes, was the tight window throws he was making. Obviously, everyone looks at the beautiful touch on that ball to Garrett, but I mean, all the tight window throws he was zipping into perfect spots. That one to Breece Hall off the sideline, the one that I thought was picked at first, but then somebody caught over the middle. So, and the way we were executing our offense in the run game was it was fantastic, and it was really great to see. And obviously, you can point to a bunch of different reasons why we lost that game. You can point to the missed 2-point conversion, and you can point to how unlucky we got with that catch by DK that got passed around. And that was the only catch that counted against Sauce Gardner, by the way. So we had the opportunity to win this game like so many times. So it's such a frustrating loss to see. But overall, you have a chance to offset it and beat the Bills this week. So this game is so important. So I'm excited to see how we match up against them. I think it's going to be well. I mean, our rushing offense is great, and the Bills got ran all over last week. So I'm excited to see if we can keep up our success.
Josh, you will be in attendance at MetLife Stadium for the second game in a row. Division on the line, week 2. Not on the line for the season, but the Jets win tomorrow. They are in first place in the AFC East, Josh.
I mean, that's pretty crazy to think about, but I thought Chris made some salient points there. That was a pretty jetty loss if I've ever seen one. The DK catch, a guy that I don't think anyone on the panel here, probably nobody in the chat, wanted a guy on the roster. First half injury happens, comes in for backup duty, fumbles away the game. The defense that was the focal point of the offseason, you hired a defensive-minded head coach, you brought in a defensive coordinator, and you thought there was going to be inexperience at the quarterback spot. Turns out you flipped the game preview on its head. Justin Fields played better than anyone he expected, but the defense gives up 34, my goodness. But, I'll say, despite how many terrible towels there were, the Jets crowd was loud, so it's clear that the Jets fans are excited for the Aaron Glenn regime, and huge game against Buffalo coming up. Can't stress that enough because we know that the schedule only gets tougher from here. You go into South Florida to play Tampa, maybe a little bit of a lighter one against Miami. Then you go to London. So there's a ton of twists and turns in this Jets schedule. So you kind of feel like you gotta pick up a win here in division. Connor, you mentioned the significance here with Buffalo losing last week. Ton on the line for just a week 2 game, but this Jets team sure is gonna have to play extremely well.
So Josh, is it gonna be 90 degrees in Miami on a night game?
I mean,
What?
look, Chris, it's a 7 o'clock start, so the sun might still be setting.
It's going to be like 70 degrees, 75 degrees.
We're taking back to when Josh Woolever said it was going to be 90 to 100 degrees.
All right. I forgot the sun's not blasting at night. But Miami gets hot in the winter. Or this fall, I should say.
We all misspeak. I have my fair share of that, and whenever I do, the chat, rightfully so, likes to pick me apart and say, and come after me. Rightfully so. Nevertheless, Aaron Glenn, the biggest thing that stuck out to me about Aaron Glenn post-game, what happened after the game, he delivered a very, very strong message to fans, speaking with reporters after the game, saying, if you're going to cost us to lose football games, you are not going to play for us. And we hear all the motivational quotes. We hear that from coaches all the time. But the biggest thing that stuck out to me is he stood by his word after that game days later, cutting Xavier Gibson, who pretty much you could say cost the Jets the game, fumbling on that kick return in the fourth quarter, which gave Pittsburgh the ball on a short field and ultimately prompted them to take the lead with that touchdown there. So, look, when you talk about Aaron Glenn and standing by his word and accountability, that word was used so much this offseason. It's good to see that he's actually following suit with what he is telling reporters, Chris.
Oh, yeah, it's great. The mindset, the culture change that we need is kind of here with Aaron Glenn. We're seeing it, cutting Gibson. Obviously, I felt like it was huge. He made a statement after the game that, anybody who makes mistakes like that and game-costing mistakes has no place in this team, and he stood by his word. So I respect that. Aaron Glenn, I feel like the players are going to respect that, and that's a key part of having a good football team. So we got to hold the accountability. I thought the penalties looked much better. We didn't have that many crushing penalties. So ultimately, I love the way this team played. Ultimately, I didn't love the result, but we're heading in the right track.
Jack, a lot of silver linings, but there were also some players on Sunday who performed subpar expectation-wise or just really helped lead to that loss yesterday. Who's someone you're looking at tomorrow and you think needs to deliver a strong performance to avoid an early season benching?
I think you got Brandon Stevens. I think Stevens really has to step up his game, especially from last week. He didn't play well in man coverage. I don't remember the exact stats, but he let up, I think. He let up a touchdown, and two touchdowns.
2 DPI calls, dropped an interception. I think like 136 points something. Passer rating allowed.
I think it's got to be Brandon Stevens that really has to step up. You can't just have one guy in Sauce Gardner carry your entire secondary. I get the Bills may not have the best receiver core in the league, but they still have a solid receiver core, even though these names may not be big names like Keon Coleman. I mean, people know him, but he's not big. Khalil Shakir, again, people know him. He's not big. Doesn't mean they're not a good receiver core. These guys really have to step up next week in order to shut down Allen's passing game.
When you have a quarterback like Josh Allen, it's important to have that strong coverage downfield because the Jets, I think, are going to send a lot of blitzes towards Allen's way tomorrow. The Jets blitzed at a 35% rate, I think it was, against Rodgers last week. I'd expect the Jets blitz rate towards Allen, to be in that similar realm, in that same territory. So the Jets are going to try to apply a lot of pressure. They're going to send a lot of blitzes. The secondary is going to need to hold strong coverage downfield. The guy that I'm tabbing is Tony Adams. The performance that he had last week, missed tackle after missed tackle, did nothing virtually for the Jets in coverage, was a liability in pass coverage downfield. The Jets have Malachi Moore, who had a great preseason, great end to the preseason, a strong summer. He's chomping at the bit to take over Tony Adams' role as that starting strong safety. He certainly has the physicality to do just that. Another lackluster performance on Sunday, Josh, and Tony Adams finds himself in an early season benching, which is he's no stranger to. Last year, he was benched after week 4 by the owner. Let's hope it doesn't come from the owner this time, but he could find himself on the bench for performance tomorrow.
There was a ton of messes, and then the reports that he wanted to bench Rodgers, but yes, Tony Adams, and basically, I will exclude Sauce Gardner from this, but the entire secondary didn't play well. Like Michael Carter, too, was slipping, was missing tackles, was letting up chunk play after chunk play after chunk play. And that's not a guy that you're going to bench because he's one of the premier slot corners and one of the best parts of this Jets defense. So I'm just looking for him to elevate his game. As for Tony Adams, the Jets were pretty clear in what they did in the offseason. They attacked Andre Sisco, brought him in here. They recognized a weakness, did Darren Mushi. You go out there, you draft Malachi Moore. So by no means is Tony Adams' job safe, like I would say about Michael Carter II. But yes, him, the entire rest of the secondary needs to step up the play because this Bills team is unforgiving. If you give them chances, they will take it like Baltimore did last week. They left the door ajar and the Bills pounced on it.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for joining us right here on the Next Gen Jets Show. Smash the like button, hit subscribe. Jack Cotter, Chris Grasso, Josh Woolever. I'm your host, Connor Long, right here with you guys on the show. Again, smash the like button, hit subscribe. That is the free way to help us grow. Questions, comments, thoughts, throw all of those in the chat for us to get. You guys want to get up here on the screen, give your takes. You can call into the show using the pinned link in the description down below. We appreciate the hell out of you guys. We appreciate the support as always. Get your super chats, get your memberships in. Our September membership raffle just a couple days away. Get your final entries in. John gets us started right here on the show. He gives a membership. Shout out to you, John.
These are some of the worst feelings in the world. Part 4. Number 1, we have when you think you're drinking water, but you're drinking vodka. Yeah, that happened to me.
Dog, no, you cannot see that.
Thank you, Jack, for that message there. And thank you, John, for the gifted membership. That gets you another raffle entry here on the show. Shout out to you. Thank you for the support. Shout out to everyone who's supported the show the paid way with super chats, with memberships, guys. It really, really helps us. So continue to support the show the paid way. Most importantly, though, the free way. Completely free of charge. Charges nothing. It's completely free. You guys just smash that like button, hit subscribe. Goes just as far. Continues to help grow the platform. Questions, comments, thoughts in the chat. Call into the show with the link that is pinned in the description. We're going to go over to the phone lines. And boy, oh boy, do we have a heavy hitter to start us off. Sound the alarm. Alan joins the show. Alan, how are you doing, my friend?
Good morning, gentlemen. I mean, good afternoon, gentlemen. You too, Grasso, okay? One comment and a couple of points on the game tomorrow. First of all, I want to give kudos to one of the panelists here. I happened to listen to Ginger's show last Sunday after the Steeler game, and this caller was insightful, logical, relentless, and honestly was one of the best callers I've ever heard in terms of a post-game show. So kudos to you, Josh. That was unbelievable, that performance.
Thank you, Alan.
Okay. You have a lot to teach a lot of those dopes who are 2-3 times your age. Okay.
I appreciate
it. You did a good job. Okay. Grasso, I think you should listen to that. Okay. You don't do even a quarter of it. Okay?
First, Josh is almost older than me.
How old are you, Josh?
I just turned 15.
How old are you, Chris?
He is older than me. I turned 15 in a couple.
Okay, so he's 10 minutes older than you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Alan, I'm the youngest here by over a year. So I'm the youngest out of this.
That's very good. And Jack, really nice to meet you. I really have not ever talked to you, so continue the good work, okay? And in my opinion, listen to the two I mentioned. Do not listen to the guy next to you, okay? Okay.
Yeah.
So let me talk about.
Come on, Chris.
Excited when you heard they're about to trade Quinn Williams to the Cowboys. I know you don't like Quinn Williams and want him off the team.
I would not have traded him for that. First of all, I don't think the Jets are going to pay a guy $40 million.
Yeah.
So,
Thank you.
Let me talk about the game tomorrow.
Yes.
Two matchups that I see being the big ones, one for each side. Let's talk about the Jets. No Ed Oliver. I could totally see both TJ Sanders and Deion Walker, their snaps go way up. I think they combined for about 30 snaps in the first game. So they need actually somebody to play alongside Daquan Jones. This is an opportunity for the Jets to actually run the ball consistently. The only way the Jets have a chance tomorrow is they have to control the clock. they cannot go toe-to-toe with Josh Allen. They'll get blown out, okay? You have to run the ball, and this is an opportunity for Tanner to really feed all three running backs. Not only just Brees, just give it to the other two guys. They need to run the ball, I'll say 65 to 70% of the time tomorrow to win the game, and they have to control the clock. So that's on the Jets side. Now on Buffalo, this is, I think, the biggest mismatch. The speed of Joshua Palmer against Brandon Stevens. Again, the Jets gave that bum $36 million, $23 million guaranteed. So as much as people bash Muji, this is also on Aaron Glenn. He is a former cornerback. So you know what? It's on his ledger as well, this signing. So the only way the Jets can match up in that case is they need high safety help. And I don't know if they could do it. Again, I think Allen's going to throw for over 300 yards in the game.
Oh, yeah.
I think the first who gets the 30 wins. And again, I think the Bills win by 2 touchdowns based on the fact that they have the best player on the field. It's hard for me to pick against the Bills due to the fact that as much as Justin played well last week, I just don't see him as a guy who can go toe to toe against Josh. What do you guys think?
And I think that performance, Alan, when you talk about what you saw to Justin Fields last week, is what you need out of him to win football games against teams like the Pittsburgh Steelers that don't have a quarterback like Josh Allen, don't have a quarterback that could extend plays to the caliber that he does. So I think what we saw to Justin Fields last week is what he needs to do to beat teams like the Steelers, to beat teams like the Patriots, to beat teams like the Dolphins. But when you talk about what this team's defense is going to have to do tomorrow, there's going to be a lot of responsibility on the secondary. I expect the Jets to send the house a ton tomorrow. Like we saw last week, I mentioned it earlier in the show, around a 35% blitz rate. I think that number is going to hold up to the same level tomorrow against Buffalo. So a lot of pressure on the secondary to hold things up downfield, because Josh Allen extends plays like no other quarterback in the NFL. There's a reason this guy was named the league's MVP last season. So this defense is going to need to apply pressure while also holding strong downfield. And the wide receiver room, like kind of Chris mentioned earlier, doesn't boast big names. They don't have the flashy guys. They don't have the flashy playmakers, but they have a guy like Khalil Shakir could get you 800, 1,000 yards a season. They have, in my opinion, a top 5 pass catching tight end in the league in Dalton Kincaid. And then you have the speedster who could just run all the way downfield for you on a go route in Josh Palmer. And we saw Brandon Stevens get killed last week against Calvin Austin. That play in the red zone, the one that catches my eye. He's having trouble catching up to Calvin Austin. He's going to be in for a treat tomorrow against Josh Palmer. Chris,
and one final comment. I'm glad Jermaine played great last week. Okay, I think he played about 80 to 85% of the snaps. Yep. I think he had 50 snaps. People actually thought he'd play between maybe 15 and 25. So it was remarkable to watch him out there. I worry that they are putting too much on him too soon. And the reason being, they don't have any depth behind him. There is nobody you can count on.
Michael Clemens.
The edge. What did you say?
Michael Clemens is the next guy.
Again, as I said, there is nobody behind him who could set the edge. And I know he's a very aggressive player, very emotional, but I worry that this organization is just throwing him out there and giving him too much too soon, coming off an Achilles. I'd love to see him play great and play 85% of the snaps. I just don't think it's really smart to do so early. And that's a problem with a team that has no depth behind him at the edge position.
Alan, thank you for the call. We appreciate it. I hope to see you soon. As always, hope to see you on the pregame and postgame tomorrow, and we will answer your what you said there right now. You know, Chris, hate him, love him, made some great points there, I will say, courtesy of our guy.
So that was a salient point about the depth outside of Jermaine Johnson. I mean, I don't think, I'm not concerned about them playing him, but like I'm concerned about the depth. So it makes sense that you would be concerned giving him that high workload because there is nobody behind him. God forbid something happens. But I mean, he's had plenty of time to recover. He reportedly been hitting PRs this offseason. So I mean, I think he's full 100% back. But I mean, it is smart to play conservative because you do have no one behind him. So that is a salient point there by Allen.
Before we go any further, folks, we have some super chats. We have some memberships to attest to, guys. Keep them flowing. They go a long way. They help support us. They get you raffle entries. John gives another membership.
Oh, yeah, baby.
And 100% of this $2 membership will be going to you because John confirmed that the clip that I played of you initially is what got him to gift another membership. So shout out to you, John, and thank you for that work of art, Jack Cotter.
I am Jack Cotter, and I love the 2020 Jets. All I care about, the 2020 Jets. After that, don't matter. The 2020, 2020, 2020, 2020, 2020, 2020, 2020. Crazy. Jets will win 6 games no matter what. The ceiling is 7 games, but Chris says, what the fuck? Jimmy in the chat always talking crap, but it don't.
Thank you, John. And Johnny Danks. Shout out to you, Johnny. Thank you for tuning in. He drops in with a $2 super chat. What's up, boys? Let's get this win, JTS.
Let's go, baby.
Thank you for the super chat. Thank you all, guys. Continue to like the video. Continue to hit subscribe. Continue to gift away. Continue to send all your super chats. Plus, questions, comment, thoughts. Keep them flowing in the live chat. You guys call into the show with the link that is pinned in the video description all the way down below. Jack, Ed Oliver is going to be out tomorrow in a Bills run defense unit that struggled immensely to stop the Baltimore Ravens. Over 250 yards allowed on the ground. The Jets piled up over 180 yards against, in my opinion, the best front four in all of football. The Bills' anchor on the interior of already a struggling unit's going to be out. We're going to probably see 2 rookies, like Alan mentioned, pick up the slack, and a 3-tech in TJ Sanders coming out of South Carolina, and then pretty much just a 400-pound bulldog in Deion Walker coming out of Kentucky. So big game I'm expecting out of Breece Hall tomorrow.
Offense has got to do what they were expected to do. They got to run the ball, pound or ground and pound this Sunday. Like I said, I think like Alan said, we have to run 65 to 70% of the snaps tomorrow on offense. So you got to look at a realistic approach here.
100%.
I think that's exactly what we're gonna do. You know, to Alan's point again, you have to use all 3 running backs tomorrow in Breece Hall, Braylon Allen, and Isaiah Davis. I mean, I was a little disappointed that we didn't see a lot out of Davis last week. My hopes for him are really high this season, so it'd be nice to get some Isaiah Davis action tomorrow. But I'm definitely looking forward to seeing that 1-2 punch again with Braylon and Breece. Hopefully a lot more Justin Fields runs this week, designed Justin Fields runs this week, I think, and not just, escaping from the pocket and running, but I would love to see some, read options, direct QB snap up the middle or something like that. I would love to see more of that creative offense this week, especially with the weakened Bills D-line.
I like Isaiah Davis. I've been a huge Isaiah Davis fan. I think the longest here on the panel. I really liked him when they first drafted him. And I think I like his efficiency. I like what he brings. The thing is, I think Braylon Allen and Breece Hall, they just complement each other so well in such an efficient way. And look, if you look at the stat line, someone who didn't watch the game on Sunday would look at Braylon Allen and be like, he didn't really do much. I think it was like 15 carries, 30 yards, something like. I don't know if it was that many.
9 yards he had on the game.
He had 9 yards, Braylon Allen?
Yeah, 6 carries for 9 yards.
6, I don't know where
touchdown.
I got 15. I got 15 from 30. I was just thinking 2 yards to carry. And what I will say there about Braylon Allen, don't mean to get in the way of what you were going to say, Chris. All good. What I was going to say about Braylon Allen is one who just didn't watch the game would look in that and say he didn't really do much. He had a touchdown. He just fits this team so well with Fields in the backfield on the 3rd and shorts and at the goal line.
Yeah, so what I was going to say about Braylon Allen is the play where Fields ran, we were in the red zone, and he ran for a first down, tiptoe on the sideline. I mean, if he would have handed that off to Braylon Allen, it could have been a touchdown. I mean, Braylon Allen had so much space. So
he gets down to the 3-yard line, Chris.
I don't think we're talking about the same play. I don't think it was that run, but there was
also the naked bootleg where Allen drew the whole defense up the middle. Fields escaped out the back door.
That was fantastic.
Crawled into the end zone for a touchdown.
Have you guys seen the clip of Peyton Manning where he did that? Where he
yes, of course, yes.
Yeah,
Also,
that
there's
was-
also the Matt Stafford fake spike. I think that was the same concept.
All right, so that's awesome. But our running offense has to be on point. I'm looking at Brees Hall, a guy who I charted before the season, and all offseason I was defending Brees Hall my life after all the Jet fans who wanted to trade him. I'm still expecting big things out of him. I'm still expecting him to hold up to the explosiveness that he has and become a great player that will ultimately earn a contract or a franchise tag at the end of the season. Anything to stay with the Jets. I mean, you can't let guys like that go. I mean, especially if he continues in the track he played versus Steelers. But we'll see. He's gonna have a great game if we want to beat the Bills.
Certainly, and it's going to be predicated on running the ball because the Bills have a solid secondary as well. Christian Benford and the secondary that they pose in particular. So I look, when you talk about the Bills and what they're going to bring, the challenge that they're going to bring for Garrett Wilson and the Jets pass catchers is going to be interesting to monitor. I'm going to try to pull up the Bills injury report here quickly because obviously we know Ed Oliver highlights that list. Let me just pull this up here on the screen quickly. Stand by, folks. Boom, boom, boom. StreamYard being annoying, taking forever to load. What else is new? But here it is. We got it up on the screen. Here's the Bills injury report.
Oh, that's big.
It's a lengthy injury report, but a lot of these guys
James
are
Cook.
if you look at it. So
It was a
Greg
full
Russo is going to play. Tre'Davious White, I think, will play. Tyrone Johnson is interesting. He didn't practice Wednesday. He was limited on Thursday and Friday. Him being out would be a huge leg up for the Jets. Shaq Thompson, I think he'll go. It's been confirmed James Cook will play. Keon Coleman, a full participant all week. He's going to be a go. Same
Trey
goes
White
for
would be
Edmund
huge.
Codrington and Christian Benford. I think Tyrone Johnson brings more of an impact than Tre'Davious White does. I mean, we're talking about a player who has dealt with a surplus of knee injuries throughout the last few years, getting up there in age. But that's the Bills injury report, a pretty lengthy one at that. We're going to pull up the Jets one here quickly as well. Shout out to everyone joining us. Smash the like button. Hit subscribe. Your questions, your comments, your thoughts, continue to pepper those in. We're going to get to those. Call into the show with the link that is pinned in the description. Super chats, memberships. Keep them flowing. They go a long way. They continue to support us here on the show. But Jack, I know you got to go, so we will let you go, and we will text. We will keep in touch, and we will be watching.
Absolutely.
Beat Buffalo.
Thanks, guys, for having me on again this week. I'll talk to you guys later. All right.
Bye, Jack.
Jack Cotter. There he goes. Thank you, Jack. And Josh is no longer on the screen. Unfortunately, let me change the background here on the show quickly. Boom, boom, boom. There we go. All right, perfect. We're in business. Shout out to all you guys. Shout out to everyone sticking with us right here on this beautiful Saturday afternoon. Now I'll pull up the Jets injury report. It's a really, really interesting one because we're going to see some guys who did not play week one. We're going to see them make their season debut. And the Jets are also going to suffer a handful of losses for tomorrow's game. I'm going to pull it up for everyone right here on the screen. And another one that's rather lengthy for the Jets. So let's
I wonder if Mason Taylor's on there.
Right here. He is, but he will play, in my opinion.
That's exactly what I was thinking because he got banged up during the play. He was in the blue tent for a full drive there, but he got back out there later.
Yeah, it was an ankle issue for Taylor, as you see. The notable ones who the Jets are going to be without, Kanena Wangu. I think it's going to be by committee on the return group. I expect Isaiah Williams, who the Jets signed earlier, to be the lead punt returner. When you talk about kick returns, it could be something like Williams and Arian Smith. I think that's what we could be in store for. J2 Fele out. That prompts Leonard Taylor III to make his season debut. Marcelino McCray-Ball, I think, will be a go. Same stands for Michael Carter II. Chukwuma Okorafor and Sauce Gardner. Obviously, the other notable player who's out, Josh Reynolds, that also sets Alan Lazard in line to make his season debut. So a lot of shuffling around, Chris, right here on this report.
Yeah, what do you think, boys? An Alan Lazard legacy game incoming?
Just stop. Let's stop. Let's not start that.
Instead of looking at Alan Lazard, I want to say, I want to believe Arian Smith will get opportunities to get some catches and do some damage to this Bills defense. So ultimately, it's going to be a run first day anyway. I mean, that's kind of how it's going to go the entire season. But Justin Fields shown he is not to be neglected in the passing game, and he can make some pretty solid throws. So ultimately, I mean, who's going to get the targets out for Josh Reynolds? I mean, Alan Lazard is going to get some, but I want to see Arian Smith really shine.
It's not even targets for me. It's the impact that they bring as a run blocker in a game where obviously we all know it's no surprise the Jets are going to run the football a ton. They're going to go ground and pound. Josh, what do you see here?
I mean, to Chris's point, yes, you want to see your fourth round rookie Arian Smith have a field day and truly, get his welcome to the NFL moment. But I just don't think that this is the day where the Jets are scheming up for Justin Fields to take the top off this Bills defense and, try and push the ball downfield quickly. I think it's going to be, West Coast style offense, 3 downs to move the chains, pick up 10 yards and keep it pushing. But I also
The Jets, a West Coast style offense with Justin Fields as their
If the
quarterback.
Jets go down by 10, they're losing the game. Like that, we cannot let this game fall away.
Josh, did you just say the Jets are going to run
Doesn't West Coast style offense mean you only want the first down? You don't want big plays? Isn't that what that means?
a West Coast offense is like what the Jets ran with Nathaniel Hackett and Aaron Rodgers. It's going to be run and done all day tomorrow, in my opinion. They're not going to pass the ball at all.
I thought that just meant you only want the first down. You're not gunning for big plays.
Traditional West Coast is like Nathaniel Hackett.
Oh, it's just you pass.
Josh,
Okay.
I'm not great with like the scheme
I was
either.
mistaken.
I just know
Yeah,
we're gonna-
neither am I. When I hear West Coast, Josh, my mind just goes to Nathaniel
That
Hackett.
makes sense. Okay, I guess I was mistaken there, but yes,
Okay.
run first game. Let's see what a couple of the both of the defensive fronts I think in this game are going to be big. The Bills in terms of having 2 rookies at nose tackle to try and stop the Jets run, that's going to be huge. And then obviously it's a huge task to contain Josh Allen, as Alan just mentioned, that Jermaine Johnson's going to have a burden put on him to, not only get sacks, get tackles for loss, but stay in his rush lanes, stay disciplined there, keep him in the pocket, because you let Josh Allen out of the pocket, you let him on the move, that's where things start to get dangerous as defense starts to break down. Broken plays are where quarterbacks, where great quarterbacks are made.
Undoubtedly so. When you talk about the ability that Josh Allen brings, I know I mentioned it earlier, just how he extends plays is something that we have never seen from a quarterback, at least, in this decade. So he's one of a kind in that sense. Someone who is one of a kind at his position is Micah Parsons. And speaking with Gary Myers on ESPN New York earlier today, Cowboys owner Jerry Jones confirmed that he initiated trade talks with the Jets this offseason. One brief conversation, he checked in with the Jets, and the deal that he kind of proposed, that he kind of offered to the Jets, that he outlined, I think would be the word, was Quinnen Williams and a 2026 and also potentially a 2027 first-round 6 picks. So that would be Quinnen Williams, 1 and maybe 2 first-round picks in exchange for Micah Parsons. Of course, this was before the Cowboys ultimately dealt Parsons to the Packers in exchange for Kenny Clark and 2 first-round picks. This is what I will say, folks. Micah Parsons, great player, happy he didn't go to the Jets. You don't give up an all-pro, 2 first-round picks that are going to be so valuable and potentially put this team in line to get their long-term solution at quarterback should Justin Fields not work out. Also, you got to pay him. He was just made the highest non-paid quarterback in NFL history. That would come should the Jets have paid him. That would have came after the fact they dished out over $100 million contracts apiece to Quinnen Williams and Sauce Gardner. Incredible football player. I think one of the best football players that I will ever watch in my lifetime. Absolutely not on the Jets, especially the asking price that the Jets would have had to meet, Chris.
Yeah, 100%. We are in no position to give up 2 first-round picks. And even our first-round pick next year, we do not have enough leeway. Our team is not complete enough. We don't have enough depth to lose a first-round pick like that. And you mentioned it perfectly, Connor. That could be our long-term quarterback answer. God forbid when something happens and we don't play, our offense like falls off a cliff at this point. And we need another quarterback. So that could be the answer at quarterbacks. And then also, I would not want to give up Quinnen Williams for that. Quinnen Williams would not be in that package in my eyes. If contract aside, obviously the contract is unrealistic asking price for the Jets to pay him that money, so we were never going to do this deal anyway. But contract aside, if they wanted to make that trade, I'd rather give up either Jermaine or Will McDonald than Quinnen Williams in that sense, because I think that Jermaine and Will McDonald are on pace to they're really young and ascending edge rushers. So I mean I think that's a fair give to them, and then our anchor in the middle of the D line, the guy who gets his pressure, the juggernaut on our defensive line. So I did not want to give up Quinnen in that package anyway. I'd rather give up Jermaine or Will McDonald. Preferably Jermaine coming off the injury at this point, but they both have the potential to be so good. I'm honestly on board with keeping our team as it is. I did not want this trade to go through. I wouldn't even. I have trouble accepting it, even if the contract was all aside, and we did give up Jermaine instead of Quinn Williams because of the first round picks, and also like Jermaine has like a ton of potential coming up the injury. I mean, we saw he played all right, so I'm interested to see what our D line shapes out to be, and I'm happy we said no to that.
Well, Jerry Jones later confirmed he wanted an all-pro interior guy. He didn't want another guy on the edge. He wanted an all-pro interior guy who could pass rush and run stuff. And ultimately that makes sense because that's what they got in Kenny Clark from the Green Bay Packers in that final deal. Folks, thank you for joining us as always. Smash the like, hit subscribe. Your questions, your comments, your thoughts, throw those in the chat. We will get to those. Super chats, memberships, keep them flowing. Let's dive into the chat. We'll stay on, about another 20 minutes. We could do about an hour here on this Saturday afternoon. So we got 20 minutes left. We're opening it up to you guys for these final 20 minutes. We want to hear what you have to say. You guys call in. You guys can throw your thoughts in the chat. You can get your super chats in that will cut the line. You can get your memberships up here on the screen. Shout out to everyone here on the show. Eric says, I got a prop for you guys. Breece Hall over 13.5 rushing attempts. He's 65% to this line at home last year. Has 19 carries last week. I refuse to give any betting advice on Breece Hall because last week, Eli Betts, I believe his name is, very loyal listener of the show. Shout out to you, Eli. He asked me, he was building a prop bet, and he was asking me to help build it for him. And he said Breece Hall over under 65.5 rushing yards. I took the under.
Ooh.
Breece Hall almost doubled that. So no betting advice for me on Breece Hall.
Eric,
sounds like a pretty intriguing
smash the over, bro. Smash the over. That's like might be one of the safest Breece Hall betting lines. I mean, the Bills D line is banged up. Breece Hall is kind of the RB1 on our team. I know we like to distribute.
Kind of.
I mean, Aaron Glenn
Is Justin Fields kind of the quarterback one?
All right, Josh, shut up. Anyway.
No, because you attacked me on the weather, so I had to get my get back. Go ahead.
You have Breece Hall as one of your best running backs, the best running back for you, Josh, the best running back on our team. This is he's 100%.
There you go.
There we go, Eric. Thank you for joining us. Alan says 35-20. Buffalo. Havmo says 33-27. Jets. With people throwing the score predictions in already. King Jamie says 23-20. Jets. King Jamie says, Chris, what is your score prediction? Chris, you can take us away first.
All right, perfect. So this is interesting. I don't know. I saw Havmo that was him, right, predicting us to score 33. That'd be a dream come true, back-to-back 30-plus point weeks. When is the last time we've done that in our history? That's like eons, decades.
Yeah.
Eons.
Yeah, but so I think the final score will be Jets 27, Bills 24. I think that the Bills aren't going to be able to defend our rushing game, and then it's going to open up our passing game. And Justin Fields was a reliable passer of the football last week. So ultimately, as long as we can contain Josh Allen, get a spy on him, send some pressure at him, I think our secondary will have a strong bounce back week, and we will beat the Bills.
Jets flight plan drops in with a $20 super chat, baby. Let's freaking go.
You got to be fucking kidding me.
Thank you so much for the $20 super chat. We appreciate the support. Thank you for the kind words. Always. Fantastic show and insight, fellas. Love the show. Keep up the great work. JTS, Jets. We beating the Bills, not the same old Jets. Thank you so much, as always. And I will say this. I have the Jets winning tomorrow.
Hell yeah, baby.
At my prediction. I have the Jets winning tomorrow. Give me the Jets 28-24.
Hell yeah. So
I have a question for both of you.
Okay.
If the Jets had beaten the Steelers last week, and if they lost this game, they would be 1-1. Does that change your score prediction, or are you now in the 0-1 hole? You basically have to win this 3. You can't be going on the road 0-2.
So the fact that that we lost to the Steelers does change my prediction. Also, another thing that factors into it was how the Bills got such a break and used so much of their energy and willpower to beat the Ravens. I mean, they are due for a fall-off disappointment week. So, all that 100%. Kind of factors in. I think Aaron Glenn, if he's the right coach for us, he will deliver with our back to a wall here versus the Bills. I mean, if we lose this game, you're 0-2 going into a high-powered offense in Tampa. You're traveling, far down the East Coast, if you will. So that's a game that you probably won't win if you're 0-2. So this game is kind of crucial. And I think Aaron Glenn will understand this, has been preaching this all week. We went over the film from last week. Not us, but they have went over the film from last week. And they're going to correct all the mistakes they made. And we're going to continue our high-powered offense in the rushing aspect of the game. So I like us to get the best of the Bills here.
Just to end the season, what do you think the Jets would trade?
Just end the
Would trade for Bruce Hall? I wouldn't trade. I said I wouldn't trade him at the end of the season. I still wouldn't trade him after 1 week. Yeah, last week he showed he's going to be here.
Yeah, there's no world. There's no world.
You get a third round pick. Yeah, see you later. I don't care. It's a contract year. Third round pick. Yes.
That's crazy.
How
are
is
we
that
going to deal Brees Hall
crazy?
when he's such a crucial point for offense? He showed that in last week.
A third and a day 3 pick, please.
Why would you trade Brees Hall for a third round?
Without
pick?
Brees Hall, you don't win that game last week.
You didn't win the game anyways.
But without Brees Hall, you're not in the game.
Yeah, you wouldn't be in it as much as you were.
Yes.
Why would
Chris,
you trade?
are you like?
Why would you
Are
trade
you
him?
ready? Are you just ready to pay him? What was that?
I'm ready to at least franchise tag him. Yes.
Yeah, you could tag him and then I don't get what's the point of
By the way,
trading
guys,
Brees Hall?
this is such a key thing that we have to keep in mind. ABT is probably not getting a big contract now, so that gives us room to pay Brees at this point. At the end of the year, if he has a great year.
Good point.
I think that
Wait,
money would.
You also have to make a decision on Jermaine as well.
Yeah.
Jermaine is a 5th-year option. You have another year with him.
You do? This isn't his
Yes.
last year?
Oh, it's his
perfect.
4th year.
Okay.
Honestly, I would feel comfortable giving.
Wait,
Brees-
how? He was in the Gardner draft. Oh, no,
Correct.
yeah.
23, 24, 25. Wait, 22, 23, 24. This is the final year of his rookie deal. 5th-year option next
There
year.
we go.
Yeah, so you can get his 5th-year option. You can pay Brees out. I think ABT is ultimately going to be let go, unfortunately. I love ABT, but I don't see him coming back to the Jets.
It's just so the injuries have killed him, man. I feel so bad.
You can't rely on him to be a starter. Like what I would personally do. From what I've heard, there are some good centers in this year's draft. From what I've heard, I have not done any looking on any of the centers. I have not watched a center. I couldn't name a center who is coming out in next year's draft. From what I've seen from analysts like Nate Tice and guys that I really like from the draft and really trust, it's a strong center draft. So you can pull something where you use a 2nd or 3rd round pick on a center, and then you just move Tittman out to guard full time. Like that could be the
100%.
long-term solution, and then you pay John Simpson. Like that, I would be content with that. Like
John Simpson is a guy you need to pay. Yes, I agree with you 100% there. John Simpson is the glue guy of our offensive line. If someone goes at our quarterback, we saw this with Jalen Ramsey. John Simpson is there. And I remember seeing this in the opener too. Last year, home opener, me and Connor might have crossed paths. We didn't know each other at that point. This was Thursday Night Football. Somebody got body slammed. I think Brees Hall got picked up and slammed. The first guy that was there is John Simpson, right up in his face. So that is a guy that you must pay.
A+ team.
Also, you got a veteran. You need a veteran on that line too. We talk about the young guys. We talk about the prowess and upside they bring. You also need a veteran there as well. He's the guy with NFL experience. He's the final piece of that puzzle, in my opinion. And he was the most uncertain among anyone in that group entering last season. He really, really was. No one knew what to expect out of Simpson. He stayed healthy for all 17 games in 2023, but didn't really do much. Was in the realm of a low-end starter, high-end backup, kind of what we thought about Josh Myers to open this year. And I think he should have been a Pro Bowler last year. I think he was robbed of a Pro Bowler appearance. He was a top 10 guard in the league.
He was great.
In my opinion. So you pay guys like that and you want them to stick around.
While we're on the O-line, if you don't mind me saying, this is kind of a deep pull, but regarding, going back to the Parsons trade, you're asking 2 firsts for that. Imagine if this offensive line doesn't have Olu and Olu Fashanu and, whatever. You can take any first-round center. AVT obviously isn't going to play, but any high-quality center or offensive lineman off, and you take 2 high-quality offensive linemen off. I mean, if this Jets team gave up 2 first-round picks for a future Hall of Famer in his prime, I'll give you that, but this Jets team just cannot afford to give away back-to-back first-round picks.
I'll ask you guys this on the topic of the O-line. Is Elijah Vera-Tucker a bust? Yes or no?
Ooh,
yes.
That is a tough question.
He can't play. Chris, how is that tough? What has he done?
It is tough, but I think
it's tough, but he's been great.
He's an all-pro caliber player when he's on the field.
Okay, but yes,
Dude,
but he.
I don't think it's a bust. It's unlucky, all these injuries. He got hurt twice in Denver. He is not a bust. No.
He got hurt twice in Denver, and then he's not going to play a single snap this season, Chris. So out of his 4 seasons up till now, how many games has he played? Let's start there.
Yeah, let's get that number. Whenever I try to switch tabs, my computer like lags out. So
All right, I will get that for you. How many
Mine is-
games has AVT played throughout his
Yes.
career? All right, we'll pull this up on Pro Football Reference.
He's probably averaging like 6 games a season.
So he's played 43 games throughout 4 years in the league. This will be his 5th year in the NFL. So
And he's not
43
going to play a
games
single game.
over 5 seasons. So 43 divided by 5. I don't feel like doing any math. That's 8 games a season.
Yeah,
So eight
it's half the
and a half games. So round up to 9. That's 9 games a season. Like
But that's such a rough
Oh.
number. And like the best ability is availability, and AVT has not shown that he can consistently be on the field. So it's so
Yeah.
rough. Like he's so good. So that's why like I have a hard
the
time.
upside's there, the talent's there.
Yes.
You traded up for the guy. People forget about that as well. This team traded up to land Elijah Vera Tucker. If you look at this, he's going to play 0 games this season. So 0 this year, 15 last year, 5 in 2023, 7 in 2022, and 16 in 2021. The irony and the funniest part of this, the most games he played last year, the most games he played were the throwaway years for the Jets. His rookie year in 2021, and then last year when everything just fell apart. When they actually stood a chance in 2022 and could have finagled something in 2023. He plays 7 in 5 games, and then of course 0 this season.
The Jets were so unlucky in that way, man. It's like, what are we even doing? Like, how did that even happen?
The Jets and draft luck, those will never go well together.
Yeah, I mean,
McDonald's
that
looking
was
like a
shaping up
pretty
to be a
good
solid pick, Josh. I'll give you 100% credit for that. We all wanted Warren. Josh is the standalone person who wanted Membu, and it's shaping out to be.
Well, I wanted Warren, but I made it crystal clear that I would have loved Membu as well. I just preferred a pass.
I'll say that I felt like everybody at Jake's draft party liked the pick, but I feel like everyone would have liked Warren just a little bit more. Like
and naturally so.
Yes. So, but
He's just
ultimately,
a flashy
Membu, if I can go back and like, I credit them for picking Membu and solidifying the O-line for both sides. I'm biting the bullet on that. And Mason Taylor, although he only had 1 catch in the game last week, I mean, I still think he can shape up to be such a solid component of this team in the pass catching aspect. So Membu is shaping up to be a good pick. He obviously has to play and stay healthy the rest of the season, but it's looking good so far, man.
Like
if Azaria Thomas is in a clear upgrade over Brandon Stevens come the end of the year, like that pick was one that just makes no freaking sense to me.
Jack Cotter, Harris was on the board.
I wouldn't even have hated if they if they took a wide receiver, fine, but like I wanted a DT there. That's what I wanted.
Yeah, I mean, going back, I wish I would have drafted DT, but it's like it's looking okay so far. I mean, Tufeli out for the game is not ideal, but like Leonard Taylor III. I mean, he's a guy who is a bit eye opening. I know it not as a run defender, but like, he's gonna cause trouble in the D line next to Quinton for sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. Thank you for tuning in. Smash the like, subscribe. Super fun episode. Game day tomorrow. Live pregame coverage with Matt O'Leary. Right before the game, 2 hours before kickoff is when we start. So 11 a.m. start time for us tomorrow. And then after that, immediate postgame following the final whistle. So stay tuned. We got a ton of coverage on the channel coming tomorrow, and we hope to see all you guys there. Jack, Josh, Chris. I even make that mistake when we're talking on the phone.
Yeah, I make that mistake so much.
It's awful. Josh and Chris.
Yes.
Great episode. We'll be texting all game tomorrow. It will be a
100%.
win, and we will be talking positively about this team yet again next Saturday.
Harness the optimism, Connor. I'm all for it, but absolutely huge game. Jack, wherever you are, having an outing with your father, but Chris and Connor, great episode with you guys, always the best. Talking Jets football as we do every week. So you guys are the best. If you're listening to the show, you guys are the best. JTS, baby, let's freaking go.
Christopher.
We have never been. We need to win so badly here, and it's only week 2. Like I said, week 1 was kind of a must-win game. This is shaping up to be a super important game in our schedule. So let's see how our boys come out. I mean, I think that Aaron Glenn's gonna have them come out on fire. I mean, whether we win the game or not, let's hope some unlucky bullshit doesn't happen. Let's pray for that. But ultimately, I think we will secure the win. So let's manifest some good energy and get a Jets W, baby.
Ladies and gentlemen, those are my co-hosts, Chris Grasso and Josh Woolever. For Chris and Jack, I'm your host, Connor Long, right here with you guys on the Next Gen Jets show, saying have a great rest of your Saturday afternoon. We appreciate you supporting the show. We appreciate your time. And as always, JTS, baby. Jets.
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 Peace out, folks.